Welcome to the InfoMullet YouTube channel. If you enjoy this content, please like or share. And if you'd like to support the InfoMullet by becoming a mulleteer, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate your support. I want to know what's the employment rate. Well, the unemployment rate comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and they reported on Friday. They reported what's called the headline number was 14.5% unemployment. But they put in an important caveat. There's a category in the employment report for the Bureau of Labor Statistics where people say, I can't go to work for other reasons. Normally, that's a minor amount. There's a snowstorm, there's something, it's some minor. This amount reporting that was so high relative to any other April, it would have taken that unemployment rate from 14.5% to 20%. So and that probably reflects lockdowns and simply not being able to go to work. So the actual unemployment number, the BLS is saying, is probably a lot closer to 20% is the real unemployment number. We talk about these kinds of recovery, whether we're going to have the shape of recovery. And I've shown this version before. This is called the doom chart. This is the percentage of unemployment from the current and how long it takes to recover to what it was for every single recession since World War II. And so you see all these lines here. These are all the normal recessions, and you see this big blue line. This is the 2007 employment recession. And on the left here is the percentage of job loss, and on the bottom is the number of months after peak employment it takes to get back. So if you think this blue line here, this is when we started at peak employment. We dropped into the recession, and here's the very long recovery that took close to over 6 years to get back to get back to the pre-recession employment levels. And if you look at these behavior patterns, you'll notice there's two types. There's what's called a V, which is a sharp down and sharp up. And you see most of these are these V, or what has been called the Nike Swoosh. And the difference between that kind of unemployment is who is being unemployed, the composition of the unemployed. Is it a external exogenous shock crisis, or is it a credit crisis? And if the way this works is if it's a broad-based unemployment and it becomes a credit crisis, you're going to get a swoosh behavior like this as opposed to a V shape. So if people are asking, like, what's the future a year from now look like? And the question is it going to rapidly come back up? And that deals on those two things. Who is making up the composition of these workers that are unemployed? And does it extend into a broader credit crisis where credit's no longer available, which is necessary to restart? Unfortunately, the news is not good. Looking at the numbers here, of the 20 million jobs lost in April, construction, 1 million, huge impact. Manufacturing, 1.3 million. Retail, 2 million. Business and professional services, 2 million. Education and health, 2.5 million. And then the larger one, not surprisingly, is leisure and hospitality, 7.6 million. So what that means is that the 20 million job losses are spread broadly across the economy, and whatever it is that they go out and spend that discretionary dollar on, they're not spending it now. And this is not limited to one sector. It's focused on many sectors. The previous one was where they're working. This is who is working. And what on the left here is the educational attainment, so less than high school, no college, some college, bachelor's or higher. And then across the top is the age, and this chart shows the unemployment change or the employment level change in the month of April year over year. We've always known that those who don't have college degrees get hit more hard from this. And there's, in this context, those who have college degrees more likely to be in a knowledge economy. They're able to work from home. Their businesses may shift them. But if you're working any of these services that are face-to-face, you're going to be directly and dramatically impacted. So you can see here, this pink area is where the heaviest impact is. But what was fascinating is that there's sort of a two-pronged poke that misses the middle bulge of age. So if I were to say generationally who's impacted by this most, it's Generation X and the Zillennials. Younger are always impacted most by recession. They have the least tenure, the least job security. They're sort of just starting out. That's not surprising. But what's surprising is the millennial cohort actually performed better than the Generation X cohort. And of course, the boomers, because they're at the top of the food chain and a lot of them are retired, there's less relative change in that. And this, I think, explains a lot of this. How do you view the pandemic? Well, it depends. Where do you fall on this chart, age and education-wise? If you and all your community, your social community, are in the kinds of jobs that are being hammered by this, and you see a bunch of people posting bread videos and yoga classes and learning new skills because they're all working from home, and you're like, that's not my life, that can cause some real tension. What's unexpected is how it's missing the millennial generation and really focusing on the Gen X and the Zillennials. We can explain why for Zillennials or younger. Gen X, we don't have a good understanding of why that is. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to follow the InfoMullet, visit us on Facebook or Twitter. And if you'd like notifications when we post new video content, click on the red subscribe button below the video. If you've ever wanted to become a mulleteer and support the InfoMullet, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate the support.